First NBA title in 50 years this season, and Kevin Durant thinks they could be building a dynasty for years to come. He said to see a couple of friends become champions was cool, and then Milwaukee forming somewhat of a dynasty with that team. I know it's the first chip, and a lot of people call you a dynasty after a few, but the continuity of that team is something that's impressive, and how they continue to build and add now that they're champions, you can appreciate that.
Yeah, you can. There's more than one way to win in the NBA. There's the San Antonio way, and then there's the Heatles way, and it's okay. I'm totally okay. College football has one way to win: dynasty. Get all the best players.
Yeah.
Like college basketball mostly has been that for my entire life. Like the NBA gets the most criticism, and then we obsess about player movement. People don't like the idea that you can control and demand and then make the amount of money that NBA players make. To which I would push back and say, I don't know, get in the gym. Yeah. This is not for you. This is the best athletes in the entire world who worked very, very hard to get there, and they're being paid for their services because they're the only ones on planet Earth that can do what they do. Like, if you are replaceable at your job, in essence, you really can't be complaining when someone's being compensated at the level that they're being compensated for when they're the only people that can do that. That's how this works. Yeah. But I understand there's a little bit of hate that goes on when it comes to that. So people like the idea that, well, we did it the right way. Guys didn't demand certain things, and guys aren't divas and all of that, which, it only matters when it's not your team. Because I can assure you, nobody in Miami cares about a diva. Bring all the divas down to Miami. We'll take all the attitudes and all the issues if it means we're winning a championship. It wasn't like it wasn't tough for him. Mike Budenholzer.
I would say he was on the hot seat going into the season.
There's no question he was. Because let's say Milwaukee doesn't win, you start looking around thinking, well, Brooklyn's going to bring everybody back. And, it just bought everybody. When you win that championship, it just takes the heat. Everybody can take in Milwaukee. Everybody
take a deep breath.
Everybody can take it. Like Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay won a Super Bowl. You get like 2 years after that, everybody keeps their job, takes a breath. And and by the way, nobody is really discussing this, is that Milwaukee will be a better team next year because they're now champions.
Yes, if they can retain some of the very valuable pieces that they brought in. Now they have Drew. Are they going to be able to keep PJ Tucker? What are they going to do with Bobby Portis?
I could move off Portis. I really could. I could. Brook Lopez is valuable. Portis is one of those. Everybody's like, you got to bring everybody back.
You don't have to bring everybody back, but if you lose someone that has a specific skill, you better replace it. Yeah. Because, look, we're all talking about, I'm not personally talking about dynasty. I think that they are built to be good for years to come, but I also think the Suns are built to be good for years to come. Are you going to win multiple championships with this current group?
I would be somewhat shocked if they didn't get back to multiple finals. No guarantee. If you said they don't win another championship for 5 years, wouldn't be shocked because you don't know what's going to happen. But I would be shocked if you said, Milwaukee never gets back to the finals because the East right now, Miami is in a rebuild.
Well, how many championships do you have to win to be considered a dynasty?
Well, to me, you got to get to 3 straight championships. If you're getting to 3 straight championships, you win 2. 3 is the number for me.
You have to get to 3?
You got to get to 3, like Golden State. They won with KD. They got that. Golden State was a dynasty. It's not all about winning. You got to win a couple. But to me, if you can get like Kansas City, if Kansas City gets to another Super Bowl, win or lose, you got yourself the forming of a dynasty.
I think you have to win more than one championship to be a dynasty.
Yes, you got to win 2.
Yes, at least 2.
And you got to get there 3 years in a row. So if Kansas City gets there and wins, we got ourselves a dynasty.
I think it depends on the longevity. Like if they don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, but they make it again next year, or they win, 3 years from now, I can still consider that. Oh, well, we just talked about the Patriots. The Patriots didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years, but we still could definitely consider them a dynasty because that group, or at least that quarterback and coach, were together for that amount of time. So I think it just depends on how you define a dynasty. But I do think that they're definitely going to be competitive and be at the top of the East for a while.
When the Mavericks won in 2011, you didn't have to be a basketball savant to go, this is probably a 1. This is a 1 out. When the Pistons beat Shaq and Kobe, remember that Rip Hamilton team?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it was lightning in a bottle.
The Raptors.
Raptors. Like, there are times what Milwaukee is, if people stay healthy.
It feels sustainable.
They could, it feels very sustainable. Titles, nobody knows because players move too much. But I would be shocked if they're not a repetitive Eastern Conference champion 3 of the next 5 years. I'd be shocked if they weren't.
So LeBron's Space Jam: A New Legacy was a hit at the box office during its opening weekend.
You saw it.
I did see it. One person who did not enjoy the movie, though, was the original Space Jam director, Joe Pytka. He told TMZ it took him 5 different sittings to finish watching it. He criticized the soundtrack and the depiction of Bugs Bunny. But his biggest diss was towards the king himself, saying the truth is that LeBron ain't Michael. So a little hateration up in here.
Well, you watched it, and your opinion was what?
My opinion is that it's a children's movie. So if you're leaving that theater with a, in-depth critique, then you have something you feel like you need to say about LeBron. Because this was a kid's movie. This is not for you. It is not for me. I'm a 34-year-old woman. I saw the original Space Jam when I was 10 years old. So that's why I like the original Space Jam, because I was 10. You tend to really be embracing and clutch to things that you liked in your childhood. It's a good movie, Space Jam, the original one. It's one of my favorite sports movies because I saw it when I was 10. If I saw this one when I was 10, I would think it was amazing. It's for children. There's like video games and like corny jokes and getting your dad to appreciate what you're into. It's not for 30-year-olds. Get over yourself.
I know.
It is a child. It's like coming out of Frozen. Like, I didn't appreciate the soundtrack. I don't know if these characters were developed enough.
It's a kid movie.
Stop taking yourself so seriously. It's a children's movie. It's not Shawshank.
Yeah, I mean, I have said Michael and LeBron and Magic. So take centers out. Michael, LeBron, and Magic are the 3 best basketball players, non-centers, I've ever seen. And they were all really different personalities.
Yeah.
Like Michael was relentless. Magic was joyful. Magic was fun. Like the perfect nickname.
Magic.
It was just fun. He smiled. He was fun. He was hugging people. Michael was hard and relentless. And LeBron's a little bit of both. There's a little bit of a business cutthroat to LeBron. And he also is more joyful. But we have to remember is that they're different movies because Michael and LeBron are different people. Their background, one grew up. I mean, let's be honest about Michael. Mom and dad and family. And then he goes to college with Dean Smith. He has this great support system. Well, LeBron didn't grow up like that, and then he didn't play college. So LeBron's background is different, and it's made him a completely different person than Michael. So the movies are going to feel different because the guys are different.
And they're going to be compared to each other because it's Michael and LeBron who are always compared to each other, and everyone loves the first Space Jam, and so they're going to compare it to the second one, which I also think is a mistake because it's not meant to be really a sequel. It's just it's kind of a remake, like with a completely different storyline.
Has there ever been let me ask this to the audience. Has there ever been a remake or a second that beats a first in movie history?
Yes.
What is it? I'm trying to think of one. Sequels. Has there ever been a sequel better than the first?
There's one that like everyone agrees on.
The Dark Knight?
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back. Godfather.
Well, Godfather 3 was a disaster. Godfather 2 was good.
Lord of the Rings.
Not many, though.
No, the second one. Like when you start getting to like the third and the fourth and the fifth, like, okay, you're getting
Caddyshack 2, not good.
How do you feel about Rocky? Because I really like
Rocky
the original Rocky. You like the original first Rocky movie the best?
I thought the story was more heartfelt, more genuine. It felt more real.
I really like the first Rocky also.
Yes.
But we're not going to talk about that one.
But
Rocky
I mean,
movie,
I guess my point is, it's a losing battle.
But like Creed is a remake, right? Like it's not really a sequel. It's a different storyline, and it was a good movie. So I don't know. I don't want to break down Space Jam.
Was Empire Strikes Back better than Star Wars? Is that the feeling in the movie industry?
Yeah,
the entire control room is yelling yes. I got a bunch of Siskel and Eberts back there that these guys know all the answers. I thought Star Wars was excellent.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Wasn't Star Wars great?
It was good, yes.
Right.
I don't know. I like the sequel too. But all I'm saying is it's a children's movie. Don't take yourself so seriously. It's not meant for you. So Lamar Jackson is eligible for a huge contract extension with the Ravens. His deal is expected to be done before those of his draft class, his peers Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield. He could reportedly get a deal that's worth between $40 and $45 million a year.
I don't